everyone, welcome back to Chop's Garage. Got the Honda back. So those who watch the channel regularly remember I sold this Honda, and it's one of only 2 cars in all the time I've been trading I gave a full refund on, because the chap was complaining there was knocking in the steering, which we had checked by 2 garages in the end, and they all said they couldn't really find any problem with it at all. They said yes, if you rock it at lower speeds you can get a little bit of knock, but they said it's nothing really in any of the suspension or anything like that. They said it might just be a bit of wear in the steering column from having done 92,000 miles. But I do owe the chap an apology, because the other thing he said he had that led to him coming and get a refund on it is that he turned the key and nothing happened for a second or two before the car fired, and that happened a couple of times. We got the car back, we tried it ourselves, didn't have it at all, we did it on camera, didn't we? Well, I went to move the car the other day, and lo and behold, I actually got the problem he described. I turned the key, and it was like 1, 2, and then the car fired. And it wasn't slow turning over like you get with the diesel if it's got, you know, bad glow plugs or just, you know, bad compression or leaking injectors. It was literally, it started fine. It was just like there was a delay between you turning the key and it firing. So I popped it down to the Moors guys, and I'm now 320 pound lighter. Oh dear. What they had found was that the the clutch position sensors for the stop start couldn't tell, weren't acting correctly. That was what was leading to the delay. But they also said when they checked the battery out, they reckon that the battery could do with replacing as well, but obviously had to be stop start. So they did stop start and they did the clutch position sensor. Now the only good news is, even though I'm say 320 odd pound lighter, is that the car sold immediately as soon as I put it back on the website. There's a lady who's put a deposit down on it, and she's part exchanging a nice Volvo V70. I think it's nice. Remains to be seen until we drive about a bit, isn't it? But a nice Volvo V70 estate. I think it's 2007 with about 140,000 miles on it, but it is 2.4 diesel. With it's got a manual box, which people do tend to like the autos on the Volvos. Sort of a nice sort of sport one. You know, it's a nice car. It's got leather and all that. It'll be a nice cheapie. People are asking me for cheapies all the time at the moment, so I may well retail it. I haven't decided, but yeah. So she wanted to pick up on Saturday, but the guys didn't got the car back to me, so I've just given it a wash, and I've got to give it a hoover and a bit of a polish, and then that should be going out the door again. I will be advising the customer that there is, and already have done, even before she's seen the car, that there is slight play in the steering column in the bush. Again, today I was doing it, trying to make it make the noise. I couldn't. I could only, after driving it around, you know, back to South Mount, back here, moving it in and out. I managed to do it once at the bottom. It's such a minor thing, and we have got to bear in mind the car's got 92,000 miles on it. The Panda. Well, I've been getting loads of inquiries on after putting out the Panda video. Everybody's loving the little Panda. Lots of people keen to see if they can strike a deal on it. I have given it a wash today. I've jet washed all the mud out the arches and all that kind of thing. Thanks for the links to eBay. I've found the piece of trim. I found the piece of trim that is missing on the back there, so that's winging its way to me. 25 quid. That will make the bodywork bang on, and then we just need to give it a quick hoover out inside and a bit of a wax. But yeah, it looks like there's a subscriber that might possibly be doing a deal with me on that, so I'll update you on that later on. And we might be taking a little 1.3 diesel Fiat 500 in part exchange on like a 2008, which again will be a nice cheapy car. I've given the Smart Barabbas a wash and moved that inside because I've got the side skirts back from Mauk. If you remember, the side skirts were off of the car because they were in a bit of a state, because they get all marked up from being such a low car. So I've got those back. I've got to bung those back on again, give this a polished photograph, put this up for sale. I've dropped down to him the blue Corsa I had with the paintwork on the corners of the car that was damaged. So we've got that on the go. The Discovery, we've got a few people interested in the Land Rover Discovery. Potentially someone's coming up today on that, so we'll see how that plays out. Out here, we have got a new arrival. Nothing's happened with the Chevy yet. I'm still got to sort out a gearbox for it, but it's at the back of the queue. I will be pulling the micro back in and finishing off that paint soon, but that's the reason I put the white top coat on, just to protect it while it sits outside. Swift is still my favourite. People keep asking to buy it and I say I don't really want to sell it. Got this one in, another Panda. This one came as a main dealer part exchange. I can't remember the miles on it. What were the miles on it? They weren't very high. Yeah, they weren't very high on this. I don't think it's done over 100. Again, it's going to need a little bit of a polish up. Now, I would love to show you inside it, and I'd love to have a little drive of it, but a certain young man called Adrian dropped it off to me and left with the keys, so I'm waiting on him dropping them back. But inside's all clean and tidy. Just a little bit of wear on the steering gaiter. It's the 1.2 petrol, so the nice simple engine, but I can't see any signs of a cam belt having been done on it when I remember looking at it, so we'll have to pop a cam belt on there just for safety. Other than that, we won't go crazy on it. We'll give it a really good clean up because, again, we want this to be quite a cheap car. I had somebody, as soon as I came in this morning, somebody wanting a cheap car, then a phone call from somebody else wanting a cheap car. It's just, there's loads of people looking out for cheapies at the moment. I think the market for cheapies is really, really tight at the moment. Private sellers are asking dealer money. There's very little out there about. I hear far more people end up selling cars to friends or family because there's such a shortage of supply. They're sort of intertrading with each other. Yeah, it's really hard in that market at the moment. The Cougar, I did try what you all said with the Cougar. Look, the windows dropped again. I did try what you said with the Cougar, lubricating the rubbers, but it didn't work. So I need to get a new window regulator, I think, for this. But I still can pull it in, clean it and photograph it. It needs a polish because the MOT is ticking away. I put an MOT on it a while ago, didn't I? And Adrian and I drove it up country, didn't we? Had no problems at all. So yeah, got to get onto that. And we obviously don't want to get him wet inside. The Camry's got to go down for that welding, hasn't it? And the boys to give it a once over. And then we're going to bring it back and give it a hell of a clean up and a machine polish and do the paint and see what else we can do that. We've got to get the paint from the Marlowe's guys. So I'll probably have to take a scan of it. Nothing's happened with the coupe. I haven't got around to it. I haven't done anything with the Vitara. I think we might be having a visit for old Davey boys back in action again. Davey the painter's back in action. Malk's really busy doing, well, I've got loads of work for Malk, so if Davey does swing by I might get him to tackle this. Then we'll go down and put a clutch in it, because a lot of people have told me these are actually quite a popular little car and the mileage is low on it and the interior is immaculate, so if we get the paintwork done and get a new clutch put in it, it will be, should be a good seller and they go for good money. So that's what's happening with all the motors. Oh, and I went and picked up a new battery for the Saab 900 Turbo and an oil and filter, so I can do the oil and filter change on it and get the old fuel out, get some new fuel in it, put the new battery on it, and then we'll see if we can get the thing to move about. Like I said, I was told the clutch was bad on that, wasn't I? So we will have to just see what we can do in terms of getting it to move about. So as always, plenty on. I'm sure I've forgotten some cars. Oh, the Jaguar XJ, I'm waiting on a new EGR valve to go on that, so that's down at Moore's. And the, oh, let's not talk about the Sanyong Carrada. It's still there, parked up, waiting to find out why it overheated on me when I took it for a drive. It just keeps getting pushed to the back, because it's just not a priority. So there we go. That's what's happening with all the cars. I still need to clean the Maserati up and do a photo shoot on that and a video and get that listed on the site as well. Plenty on as always, guys. Oh, I missed out the Tiguan earlier. The Tiguan's obviously not here either. That's down at Motorworks getting the cam belt done because the Moores boys are flat out with other work for me. So that's going down, having the cam belt done, water pump, oil filter, fuel filter. So that is going to go out, totally done. It's got the new advisory free MOT going on it. So that one should be back in again. That one will be fully ready to sell. I think I put it out for 6,995 now, which Trader thinks it's 7,250 or something. But I'll be firm on that price because obviously I'll have undertaken a lot of work which maybe other people wouldn't have done. Well, I must do a special shout out for Paul as well. He sent me out a switch for the Corsa. Remember I had the little black Corsa and it had no switch for the electric mirrors. Well, he obviously has had a few Corsas and Tom had a few kicking around. Popped it in the post for me. Unfortunately, I'd already sold the car by that point, but I did manage to catch the guy as he drove by because they live behind here, the people who had the Corsa, and give him the switch, and he was well happy about that. So thanks, Paul, much appreciated. So we've got a part exchanged Volvo in. It's a 57 plate. Not sure if it's rolled over into 2008 or not. V70 D5, so it's the 2.4 diesel, which I believe is the 5-cylinder, isn't it? So this is the quick one. These are quite nippy vehicles, aren't they? And I think this is a sport spec one, judging by the interior and looking at some pictures online, because we've got these diamond cut alloys, which as per the norm with diamond cuts, could do with a bit of refurb. There's no lack appeal as such.
They're not the worst I've seen.
Well, not bad at all, I guess, really. Needed a bit of a clean off to have a proper look at them. But judging, looking at the pictures I saw online of what the sport's supposed to look like, the diamond cut's supposed to be quite bright, and these aren't, so they could probably do with cleaning down and re-lacquering. Got a little spoiler on the top there. We've got a tow bar on this one. There's a bit of out of alignment there on the bumper. Don't know if it could be taken off and put back in again or not. But overall, the bodywork's really quite good, actually. Yeah, and very bereft of dings and scrapes. Yeah, bar that little bit on the rear bumper there, the bodywork's actually really good. And what we like rubber wise, decent amount on the back there. Yeah, good rubber all round. About half worn, I'd say. Nothing looks like it needs replacing anytime soon. It's like a slightly greeny silver, isn't it, to it? Tinted rear glass. It's quite a nice looking one. So we'll look inside. Inside's really nice. It's almost like a sports interior on it. It's a bit more bolstered than the one I had, or the couple that I've had. So someone who knows the Volvos will be able to comment. But the leather in it is lovely. It's still really supple and there's very little wear on it. It smells nice. This I've never seen before. It's a manual, but it's got almost like an automatic thing in the middle here. I've never seen that before. Mine always had gaiters on them. Heated seats. Got these satin finish. So yeah, it must be some kind of sports model. We've got a very fancy dog guard in the back there. Let's have a look at that a second. All round lecky windows, electric mirrors. I have checked the windows, they're all working. But yeah, we've got a very fancy dog guard already fitted in the back there. I need to get a new dog. Perhaps I need to keep this for that. Yeah. It's like on little piston arms that folds up nicely like that. I like that. Miles wise, I think it's about 140 odd. So mileage wise, 143,000 miles. We've got 2 keys as well, 2 remote keys. So the $1 million question, how does it start? I mean, obviously I did do it before I took it on part exchange. You'll hear a lot of yelling going on in the background because Pete's here. It starts lovely is how it starts. Absolutely lovely. No warning lights at all on the dashboard. Sweet. Well, it's running ever so sweetly. It's had a timing belt 2018 at 90, well, near down at 94,000 miles. It's idling really nicely. Coolant levels bang on where it should be. Doesn't seem to be any major leaks going on anywhere. It sounds good. We're going to have Petey test drive it. He's turned up. I'm going to put him to work. He's going to come back and tell me if it's a little gem or not. I did do a little run around in it, but not a decent run. So we'll see what Petey thinks. I've given him a cup of tea, so he needs to earn his tea. You love it. It's like Christmas every day around here, getting to drive different cars, isn't it?
I'll give you the Maserati in a minute then, bud.
Only if you fancy cleaning it again afterwards. Right, I'll see if Pete comes back and it gets the thumbs up or thumbs down. Off he goes. We'll get his verdict when he's back.
No cash for it.
500 cash now for it. The fact you're offering me anything at all for it means it can't be too bad.
It's alright.
Is it alright?
Yeah.
What faults did you identify? There's got to be some.
You might want discs on it in the front.
Yeah.
They get a bit hot and you get a little bit. It might be just the tone. It's a little bit shaky on the pedal.
Oh, okay, a little bit of vibration.
Yeah. That's all stuff. Whoa, that is pretty good fun.
Boosted all right?
Yeah.
Yeah, no smoke everywhere? No. Lovely jubbly. Well, might be worth getting the Moore's boys to have a look at the brakes then. And
Oh no, I'm just saying that, it just might be that the tyre pressure is a bit down.
right.
It's nothing serious. This might be me. Just like
So blind bid chops might have done all right again.
well, boy.
Right. So everyone, remember the Fabia? I said I was going to make it sparkle like a diamond. Well, I've done my thing and it looks fantastic. Obviously I was starting with a really good base car, but this thing looks absolutely brilliant now. You'd think it was only a couple of years old. So what I've done, I've given it a bit of a machine polish, nothing too crazy, light again, like I say with the older cars, you never know where paint might have been. So we're giving it a machine polish, a bit more aggressively where there's some of the lighter sort of scuffs on it. Did have to touch a little bit of paint up down here. Decided not to paint completely, just a little bit of a touch in. Refurbish all the wheel trims. The only annoying thing is I'm still waiting on Skoda, new Skoda emblems for the middle to come. Yeah, refurbished all the trims. Did the same old thing of taking the trims off, wanting to keep the original trims, so sanding them all down, giving them a coat of paint before putting them back on, stone chipping the back of the wheel, so they all look fantastic. There's no marks on any of the wheel trims anymore. Obviously, that's like machine polish of the body. Black Outro. Remember, all the products I use are in the link to the Amazon shop I've got. So this is the Outro plastic rejuvenator. Use that because that was all light grey there. Treated all of that and around the trim there. Side trims along here. All the door handles there are sort of more of a light grey. Now I've got them with that oil. It's fed them back up again. All along there. And then obviously the insides had a good old valet. All the mats have been cleaned, the seats have been cleaned down. They only needed a light wipe down, a bit of the drill brush on the mats to tidy it up. Just a matte plastic cleaner over the plastics. But again, like for a 54 plate car, this is fantastic. Hopefully our subscriber will be very pleased. The only bit of bodywork that perhaps could have been painted is along here. There's a few chips just along the edge here. But, you know, you do have to stop sometimes. So you get a bit crazy. Plus I was a bit worried about not getting an exact match on the paint. There's the boot. Look how clean that is. Super, super clean. So I think I'll let our subscriber know it's ready. And if they want me to then forward on the wheel emblems, they can. And come and get the car right away. I think I told you the Panda sold, didn't I? The Panda sold. We just got to get it down and get that serviced today. And then the customers coming in and our subscribers coming in and part exchanging in a nice little Fiat 500 diesel, which I think I've already said, so I'm probably repeating myself. Volvo news. Had quite a few messages after doing a little short on this. I have now driven the Volvo around for 3 days. And it's not because it had loads of fuel in it. I just want to drive around for 3 days. I put some in it actually, just test it out. I couldn't help myself. I did buff the headlights. I didn't go crazy. They could probably, oh, they've got a bit of dirt on them now. They're obviously a lot clearer than they were. I could probably give them another buff. It drives brilliant. Drives absolutely brilliant. No problems with it at all. Super nippy. You can see from the Diet Coke cans I've been driving around. It's super nippy. Really quick car, but it's still averaging, I think, 43 miles to the gallon. If I was critical of it at all I'd say is there's been a couple of occasions, we'll see if it'll do it now or not. I've left the keys in it, so we'll be able to test it. Gordon Bennett, what am I like? Mind you, I've only been here for a few minutes. We'll see if it does it now. No, it started straight up. We'll turn it off and do it again. There's been a couple of times where... No, I need to cycle the key back and do it again for it to start, but it has always started without fail. The seats warm up absolutely lovely. The stereo's good, the gearbox is good, clutch is good. So I do think it is probably worth retailing. I don't know. The trouble with retailing is that I'm not going to be able to send it out the door with the wheels. I'm going to need to do my refurb on that. Then I'll end up machine polishing the whole thing. And yeah, then I'll end up having like a day or more in it. Whereas I could probably just trade it out and make decent money doing that and get cracking with something else. So with the summer coming up though, it's, again, how many times I say with the summer coming up, it's almost tempting to keep it, because I think with the seats down and that seat forward, I could probably fit the kayak in across there and the paddleboard or on the roof. And as I said, we're looking to get another dog soon as well, and that's got that nice fancy little dog guard in it, isn't it? So I've had another generous gift sent to me by a subscriber. This is from Peter. Thanks, Peter. This is brilliant. This is a Fiat Coupe book written by Neil Barnes and Joe Knight that seems to be kind of like somebody who knows these cars inside out, telling you all the fuses, how to get your brake balancing valve right, stuck pistons, all the faults that Fiat Coupes come with and how to sort them out and how to maintain it. That looks absolutely brilliant. Or even the dreaded cam belt. So yeah, thanks Peter, that's a brilliant book to have with the coupe sitting out there, because we will get round to it at some point. Thank you ever so much. That's the Tiguan off, put it straight back from the service and it's immediately sold. Yeah, off it goes. The lady wanted it there and then, straight away. No one put a deposit down on it. There were a few other people interested, but they hadn't booked in any specific viewings and didn't want to put deposits down, so off it goes. Lady did want a bit of a discount, but I said to her, look, I'm £300 under Auto Trader recommended. Auto Trader recommended was 7,295, I think. I was 6,995. I've just dropped best part £600 on a cam belt service. I could have been one of those dealers where you found out when you next took it to a garage and got asked has it had a cam belt. Found out then that you had to drop £600 in the belts and that being done. And I'm giving you a 6-month warranty, not a 3-month warranty like most garages will on 2013. So I said, to be honest, the price is the price. And she said, fair enough. So that's out the door. And yeah, I don't think we've got any prepped stock up for sale, because the Panda's sold, the Skoda's sold, that's sold. I haven't listed the Maserati yet, or the... No, I need to get cleaning. Some cars need to go up for sale. Now, I am actually prepping at the moment a new story time video, because I know you love them. I've had quite a few interesting stories of people's experience with dealers and people's experience starting out as dealers, trying to do a bit of trading themselves. There's some cracking stories to share with you. So if you've got any that you want to get added, because the more we get in, the more of them we can do, and I know you enjoy them. So yeah, if you do have any stories, bung me an email. Just go across the website, the email address is on there. Bung them across and we'll give your story a shout out on the channel as well. Unless, of course, you want it left anonymous, in which case just tell me in the email and we'll do that. The raffle's still going strong. Really thanks to all of you that supported that. Anybody who hasn't seen it, it's the launch diagnostic machine, which is worth about £400 or £500, isn't it? We've got the Top Don jump pack. We've got the Top Don battery tester. We've got the GT Shine ceramic kit. But we have to say a massive thank you and a shout out to Top Don, the legends that are Top Don. They said, oh, James, we saw that you're doing the raffle and you're doing it with the demoed JS 1200 jump pack. Not having that. It's for charity. It's for you guys and your raffle. We'll send you a brand new one. So they've sent me a brand new boxed one. How cool is that? So I think what we'll do is rather than swap the two out, we'll just add this one to the competition as well. So we'll now have 2 of these to go, so even more prizes. That's the only thing I can do once the raffle's running, is I'm still allowed to add more prizes. So we're going to add another jump pack to it. As said, half of the proceeds, or more than half the proceeds, going to North Devon Hospice. I'll put a link in the description down below, and don't forget the tickets are just 50p a pop. And we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 prizes on the go now. Now, the one thing Top Don did say, he said, James, could you possibly do a shout out for us for our Facebook page? They would like to try and get more followers on their Facebook page. So I'm going to put a link in the description down below for that as well. If you could all do me a favour, just nip across to Facebook if you use Facebook and give their page a like and a follow, because they have been supporting the channel from the very beginning. They're ever so generous. You know, they do stuff like this all the time. So let's support them as well.